Hi guys, welcome to my channel Sewing Back. My name is Brandy. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Happy to have you. So we are in the kitchen. That's my dog Odie, and hopefully the dogs won't go too wild. But I wanted to make a video today because I wanted to do a Christmas dessert, and this is a Christmas dessert that has been at my family's Christmas, every Christmas that I can remember. Honestly, it's been at most holidays at my family because my family, they love chocolate. I'm not a huge chocolate person per se, but I like this one, and it does make me think of my childhood and making this dessert. And so this dessert is very special for another reason, because it's not a family recipe. It is actually the recipe that was put in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution many years ago that my gram clipped out, and it was from Rich's department store, and it is their classic chocolate chess pie. And so my gram still has that clipped newspaper article, and we were all given a photocopy of it because every year we were always, any kind of holiday, we've been calling Graham, how do you make, how much chocolate, how much of this, how much of that? And so finally my uncle made photocopies for all of us, and so we have the photocopy of the original recipe as it appeared in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And if you are not familiar with the Rich's department store, it is, well, it was until I guess it was about the mid-90s, it got bought out by Macy's. And it left from being Rich's department store to Macy's, and it's kind of a sad thing because it had so much history in Atlanta and even my hometown of Cobb County, because they had a sister store, Rich's department store in Cobb County, in an old shopping mall called Cobb Center, what used to be called Cobb Center. It's not even, it's like not even there anymore. That mall got tore down and was built to be something else. But it reminds me of my childhood. The lighting of the great tree was always a Rich's department store tradition. Macy's tried to continue that. The last few years I think it's been weird with COVID or whatnot, but high school choirs would compete to perform at the lighting of the great tree, and that's where they had the pink pig. You could go down, and as a kid you could ride on the pink pig, and they actually had, as a kid, they had the pink pig, stuffed animals and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a really neat tradition, and it's kind of like the Sears and Roebuck wish book that used to come out as a kid. You couldn't wait for that to come out, and you could dream of all the things and you could circle and look through all the pages, and of course my kids would not even get that now. You know, we live in such a different time, but it's fun to reminisce, and this pie is amazing. I've seen a lot of different recipes for chocolate chess pie. None of them compare to this one. And so, knowing that you know me, if you've been here and you've seen me do other cooking, you know that I always add my own little flair. I add something, take something away. The only thing that I'm gonna do different from what's in this recipe is I am simply switching gluten-free flour and gluten-free store-bought pie crust. In this recipe, it tells you to get a store-bought pie crust, and I'm doubling the recipe. We always doubled it. You can freeze it or give one away. Like I said, ours were for the holidays. There was never any left. We were lucky if we got through the day and everybody got a piece. Okay, so that was with 2 pies and at Graham's house. So everyone loved this pie. So I want to tell you what you're going to need. I'm doubling it, so you need 2 unbaked frozen pie crust from the store. You can also do a refrigerated version if you prefer. You can make a homemade one if you want. I had picked up, here it is, I had picked up 2 of these gluten-free from Whole Foods, and so I'm going to use those. You're going to need 4 cups of granulated sugar. You're going to need 10 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I used an organic one. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I used an all-purpose, the King Arthur gluten-free, because I had it. And if I was using gluten-free pie crust, might as well use gluten-free flour. You're going to need 6 eggs. Okay. You're going to need one 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. And you're going to need 2 sticks of melted butter. And so you also need to be preheating your oven at 325 degrees. So it says, and I remember this was very important, that you had to have an electric mixer. I remember as a kid we would sit there and mix and mix. So it says, I will tell you, I don't think these are 9-inch. Yeah, you want at least 9-inch pie crust, or even the deep dish pie crust if you have that available, because these will kind of poof up a little bit, and then it just it's easy to have more filling than you have pie crust or whatever. So so I've got my mixer here plugged up, and what it says is I need to beat my eggs, and then I'm going to add the evaporated milk, and we're going to incorporate those 2 things. And I tried to go ahead and measure out most of my ingredients, because my gram told me she appreciates when I do videos that I have my stuff together. Y'all, she turns 90 in March. She's a hoot and a half. So I told her that was good advice. Alright, and I got one more egg. And so we're going to crack these, and we're going to get these beaten up per the recipe. And so I'm going to use Now let me tell you, I used to make this all the time. Whole Foods used to have this all butter, gluten-free pie crust. I don't know what happened during COVID that they lost that technology of how to make that pie crust. It was the best pie crust I had ever had in my life. As far as store-bought anything went, and it was probably the best gluten-free thing you would ever find. Seriously. But they don't ever have it anymore. And I thought about writing Mr. Amazon and Whole Foods and saying, bring it back. We want it back. It is that good. So my second one that I like that's gluten-free, I use is the wholly gluten-free pie crust. And it's fine, but it's not the same. But if this pie was not made gluten-free, traditionally, it was a regular, I mean, when I grew up, I didn't know anything about gluten-free, so that came later in life. So, but you could totally, use traditional pie crust. That's the way this was done. That's the way my gram always did it. All right, so I have these 2 pie crust here, and I'm going to undo this and lift it up. With you, this made a lot. You really need a deep dish, because I have extra stuff here. Because I don't want to I probably overfilled that one just a smidgen. know what I'm gonna do? I'll probably fill this in a ramekin and cook it like that. Would have had deep dish pie crust, it would have fit. So just know that. It's been a while since I've made this. So now we're gonna pop these into a 325 degree oven, and you're going to cook them anywhere from 1 hour to 1 hour and 10 minutes. It says, so you're going to bake for 1 hour to 1 hour and 10 minutes, or until the center is just firm and it has just a little jiggle in the middle. Set aside to cool for at least 1 hour. Now, we usually will leave these out room temperature, but if you're making ahead, you can totally put them in the fridge. They're good. They're good either way. So I just want to encourage you, if maybe you're someone new or who have been put on an elimination type diet where you're having to take things out, you're walking through, you know, allergies, or maybe a child in your life's going through this, or a spouse. You know that you will get to the other side, you will get answers, and that you can find joy in your kitchen. You have to get creative, and you have to kind of think outside the box, and it really did start for me using a lot of the infused oils and vinegars, and from that it kind of grew, and I started taking regular recipes, and I would take ingredients out that I couldn't have and put in ones I could, and lo and behold, it worked most of the time. Sometimes I had some flops, but most of the time I created other things that I liked. It made me feel like I could have something, not just lettuce leaves. And I found enjoyment in it, and what I found was my kids liked a lot of those same things. And so I hope that by me taking this this Rich's department store chocolate chess pie recipe and making it gluten-free, that it might encourage you to try to do the same with either this or something else. I will show you what they look like when they come out. That you will find joy in your kitchen, and that you will try to create something new or something old with a new flair. Like I said, in the description, I will take a picture of this and put it in the video, but I will in the description leave the recipe. I'll probably do the same. I'll just do what I did. I'll double it, you know, because if you're going to buy a pie crust, there's always two. And I'm sure that you can find something to do if you don't devour the second one. It's a great gift you can give someone at church, or a neighbor, maybe a shut-in, and or maybe split it up and take half of it, you know, if you know a couple shut-ins or something like that. But anyway, I hope that you will give this a try. If you do, tell me about it in the comments. Do you guys have favorite things that you miss about childhood and the holidays, like Rich's department store and the lighting of the great tree and the pink pig riding the rides, or the Sears wish book, or any of those things? Do you have things like that you miss, and you wish, you know? I know things move on. I understand that. I understand businesses have to be profitable, and you know that's just the way the world is. But if you have those things, it is fun sometimes to go down memory lane. And if you know of a great recipe like this one, I know that Rich has had several. I've heard they had a really fantastic coconut cake one. I don't have that recipe. If you do, I'd love it, because I love coconut cake. But like I said, I will put this down in the description. And if you found value in today's video, I would love a thumbs up. If you are liking our content, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you know someone you think who would like our channel, please share our channel. That helps us to grow, and we appreciate that. And so with that, I will say farewell until next time. Okay guys, These were done in just under an hour. As a matter of fact, they were starting to get, you can see there it got a little dark. Now these will actually kind of fall down, and the way we always had them, they kind of cracked, and they were delicious.